Flying high, staying clear. Guide to EU drone privacy.
You know, drones are just amazing, right? They give us these incredible, breathtaking views of the world. But that bird's eye view, it comes with a pretty big responsibility, especially when you start thinking about people's privacy. So today, we're going to unpack the European rules that help you fly high and stay clear of any privacy trouble.
So let's just kick things off with a pretty simple question. Your drone, it sees everything from up there. I mean, everything. But the real question, the one we all have to ask ourselves, is should it? This is like the central challenge for every single one of us who flies with a camera. And that's where this group comes into the picture. We're talking about the European Union Aviation Safety Agency, or EASA for short. Now, these are the folks who set the standards for flying safely and responsibly across the EU. And, you guessed it, that definitely includes protecting people's privacy. Okay, so here's the game plan for this explainer. First, we'll look at the drone's eye view. Then we'll dive into the legal side with GDPR. After that, we'll cover EASA's main principles, look at a real-world case study, and wrap it all up with a handy pre-flight checklist. Let's get into it.
All right, Section 1, the drone's eye view. This is really about that point where your hobby, your passion for flying, comes right up against someone else's home, their backyard, their private life. And this is such a critical point to get. The second you put a camera on your drone, your job changes. You're not just a pilot anymore. Nope. You're now a data collector. Seriously, every single picture, every bit of video, that's all data. And that's exactly why all these privacy rules even exist in the first place.
So you might be wondering, okay, data collection, I get it. But what does that mean legally? Well, that brings us right to our next section, privacy, drones, and GDPR. Pay attention here, folks, because this is the big one. This is the core rule you absolutely, positively have to get your head around. So what on earth is GDPR? Well, it stands for the General Data Protection Regulation. It's basically the EU's main law for all things data privacy. And the EASA's manual couldn't be clearer about this. It 100% applies to any images or videos of identifiable people that you might capture with your drone, or as they call it, your unmanned aircraft system. Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting. What exactly counts as personal data? Because it's not just a perfect, clear photo of someone's face. It's actually any information that can identify a person. So for us drone pilots, that means, yeah, recognizable faces for sure, but it also includes things you might not even think about, like license plates on a car, or even just footage that makes one particular person stand out from a crowd.
Okay, so we've got the big law, GDPR. But how do we actually apply that stuff when we're out flying? Well, that's what our next section is all about, EASA's protective principles. Honestly, you can just think of this as your practical playbook for flying without stepping on anyone's privacy.
And here they are, 6 super straightforward actions. First up, fly high. It's simple, right? The higher up you are, the less identifiable people become. Number 2, inform people. If you can, just let folks nearby know you're recording. It goes a long way. 3, respect boundaries. This one's a no-brainer. If you see a no drone sign, you obey it. 4, limit observation. Basically, don't just hover over people and stare. 5, record only when necessary. Just capture what you need for your mission, and that's it. And finally, number 6, and this is the big one, avoid snooping. Never, ever use your drone to pry into someone's private space. Just don't. So, all that theory is great, but I'm sure you're wondering how this all looks in the real world. So let's get practical. We're diving into a case study, and this one comes straight from the EASA materials. It's a perfect example of how to put these principles into action. So, I want you to meet David. He's a drone pilot, and he's got a pretty simple mission. He wants to get some gorgeous footage of the scenery at a local park. But here's the key thing. His goal is all about the landscape, not about filming the people who are there. Now, what's really important to notice here is that David's work starts way before his drone even gets in the air. His pre-flight plan is everything. So first, he actually goes to the park without the drone just to scout it out and see how many people are there and where they tend to hang out. Then, he uses this really important GDPR idea called purpose limitation to get super clear on what his goal is. And check this out. This is a direct quote from the EASA study manual, and it just hits the nail on the head. It says, he clarifies his purpose, to capture the overall scenic beauty of the park, not to focus on individuals. I mean, that one sentence, that's the foundation for his entire flight. It's the North Star that guides every single decision he's about to make.
All right, so we've covered the why, the what, and the how.
Now let's boil it all down into something you can actually use. Our final section, your pre-flight privacy checklist. This is the bottom line, the stuff you really need to remember.
I want you to think of this as your final systems check before you launch. Just run through these questions. Have I checked out the area for privacy risks? Is my purpose crystal clear? Am I planning to fly high enough? Am I only going to record what's absolutely necessary? Have I thought about letting people know what I'm doing? And am I respecting private property and any no-drone zones? Seriously, just run through this list every time, and you're going to be flying with so much more confidence. And let's just end on this one final thought. You know, drone tech is not standing still, right? The cameras are getting insanely good, the batteries last longer, they fly further. So the big question for all of us in this community is, how do we keep balancing this incredible technology with something as fundamental as the right to privacy? It's definitely something to chew on next time you're out there flying.